This topic is quite dear to me because we are at that stage where it's like, I don't think it's working out. We are at that stage, like, it's the middle of the year. I started up the year bubbling, excited. What's going on? This whole topic is going to help us really reconnect to ourselves so that when we get to that point, that block, we know why we are doing this and we keep going on. And it's about the perception trap, right? Why are we stuck? And how can we break free? It can help you in anything you're doing. You know, most of the time when I have to talk with clients, I'm good with the content, yes. But I notice that it's not about the content. Creating the content is no problem. There's something that is a block on our minds that makes us not to pull through. You know, sometimes we don't necessarily, if you follow the RISE framework, we have to reach out to people. But then there is a block to reach out to these people, right? Because of the perception that we've created on our minds. And that's what I want to help us with today. I want to help us first imagine things. No one plants a seed and expects it not to grow. We already have that outcome on our mind. That's why we planted the seed. For instance, I decide to get groceries. No one goes to the supermarket to get groceries and gets to the entrance and talk themselves out of getting into the supermarket, right? And when there is a marathon, every single person that is in that marathon is there to complete the race, whether they get there first or not. They want to finish it. When we talk ourselves out of an outcome, we get to cheat ourselves of the joy that we derive from that outcome. I'll give you an instance. So I think this week, my husband went for a day trip and to Spain. When he was returning back, he was at the airport and they made an announcement that the flight is being delayed. So he called me and was everywhere. I don't know why these people had to do this. You know, he was really, really tense. And I'm like, you have to calm down. The fact that they announced that there is a delay doesn't mean you will not get to your destination. Just calm down. The question I went to was, are you going to leave the airport now because they said there is a delay? We are not going to leave it suddenly because we have a perception that maybe this trip is not going to happen, right? And for instance, when it's like the seasonal period getting to the end of the year, we find ourselves buying gifts, preparing for it because we know it is going to come, right? So my question for us is, if your perception for a response to maybe a thought or a no or a thought of failure or not now, like if there's a perception about that, if that perception were to be changed to something positive, what will you attempt to achieve? Think about it. I want you to get into your mind, soak it all in and think about it. If that block you see, if that thing that you see as a barrier, if it were not there, because for every perception we have, we made it on our minds. If it were not there, what will you attempt to achieve? So now that brings me back to our why. Because there's just something that needs to keep fanning the flames for us to keep going on when it doesn't make sense. That big picture that made us start all this. Why are we doing this? You know, most of us, when we start our coaching business, we are in to win. We are in for it, right? And because we want to make it work, and because of all the, professional look, touch, everything out there, we have so intentionally aimed at becoming perfect experts that we lose ourselves on the way. We lose our own message on the way. And that's why sometimes when we create some content, it doesn't feel like us. We still feel something is missing, right? So that thing we've positioned for ourselves, that professional person, that expert that we try to portray and put ourselves on the other side of it, is actually one of the things that doesn't help us push through, because we've been putting on someone else's shoes and not ours. And because of this, I want us to do an exercise. There's this word they always ask us to write. There's this thing we always say: what's your help statement? What do you do? I help this. And sometimes you change the help statement. After today's training, you wouldn't change your help statement again, because it's going to align with you. It's going to be you. And it is what will keep pushing you when there is a block. It is what will keep making you want to go for the next person, want to reach out to the next person, even when there is a block. Right? So I have the questions done. I'll just read it out. Just get a pen and your journal. Take your time. Take your time. No one puts his hands on the plow and look back. So this is what we're going to do. My first question is, who are you? Be free. Share. Who are you? What do people know you for? What are you excited about that people know you for? What's maybe your career role? What are you recognized for? What are your skills? What are your values? What's the gifts you have that makes you smile in the mirror when you see yourself? Yes, I can do this. What are those things? What are those things? Write as many that can come to mind right now. Our gifts, our values. I've helped this person. I've achieved this. I got the certificate, right? Now, the second question that I'd like to ask you is, what was your all-time lowest? Your lowest moments? That frustrating time that you found yourself in? It seems like the world was on your shoulder. What was that lowest moment that pushed you to the breaking point, that made you say, you know what, I can't continue like this? That lowest moment that pushed you to that breaking point, and you're like, you know what, I can't continue like this. I can't continue like this. And then you decided a breakthrough, right? That I'm going to do this because I found myself in this. I've decided I'm going to do this. For this one, I'm going to paint a picture for us to get it really clearly. For every time I listen to Tony Robbins, any of his trainings, he always comes back to his why. And when I was writing what I wanted to talk about yesterday, it popped up on my mind. He talked about when he was young and his, stepfather didn't have, income or something to take care of the home, how it felt like for the man, and, the parents were always having that argument, that intense argument. And on that Christmas morning, there was a knock on the door. So his lowest moment, which is our second question, his lowest moment was seeing the scene of his father being helpless to help the family, to feed the mom, the dad, having arguments. Those were really low moments for him. But the breaking point for him was the knock on the door with a man with a whole box of luxury, what do you call it now, groceries, to give to his family. That was a breaking. Oh, so people can help people with food. And then he decided, if people can do this, I can also do it. That's his story. That's what he holds on to. That's what pulls him through when he gets to every block. And that's why he keeps feeding people, every time they want to do anything, you always have to put in a $1 to assist people. He's still using that wise to help himself pull through. Now, that's your moment, that's your lowest moment, which was our second question, brings us to the third question. Because of that lowest moment that you've had, what did you decide to do? What did you resolve to do on your mind to achieve? Who are those people that you want to transform because you know that they're having that same experience that you once had, that you don't want to remain in that situation? They are there now. You want to pull them out because you know how it was, how it felt like. You've had that experience before. Right? So now that's our mission. That's our goal. That's what pulls us through when the block comes. The day you decided that I'm going to make this work, I'm going to start doing this to help this person come out of that same situation that I was in, come out of whatever predicaments that you know that you don't want any other person to go through. Maybe you saw someone, you had the experience, or someone else had the experience, and you're like, you know what, I need to help these people. When you remember this, you wouldn't take the negative perception when it comes. When the block comes, when it doesn't seem like it's working. Let me give you another scenario. When there is a fire and their rescue team, they are those people that come to rescue people from the fire. They are there. The aim is to rescue as many lives as possible. And for instance, we have maybe blocks of flats. Every time they go in, they have that, anyone here? Is anyone in here? And if they don't hear anyone in there, they go to the next flat. They're not going to stay on that first flat waiting for someone to say, I'm here. They go in, they check. If there is no help there, they can't render help there, they go to the next flat. They're not going to stay on that same one. They will keep going because there is a life to be saved. There is someone to save. There is someone that needs us right now. There is someone who is practically hungry that needs £1 for a meal. So I'm not going to stop here because this is a block. The reason I'm doing this is because I need to save as many lives as I can save. And I will keep pushing through. Even when it doesn't seem like it. I'm not going to allow this thing block me. Back to my question. What can you achieve if those blocks are not there? What can you achieve if the thought, the mindset of your why comes back to you for every time there is a block, for every time there is a no, for every time there is a silence in the DM? Remember, there is someone else in the next room to help. And your mission is to bring that person out of that lowest moment. Right? So remember that we are all in this race to finish it. Not to be first, but to finish it. Everyone who has achieved something had their own down moments. Social media is full of all the beautiful things happening. Don't get carried away. You are in your own race to finish it, not to be first. So, that's my message today. And I really hope that it helps you understand your why. It helps you come back to the reason you have to help the next person. The reason why you shouldn't give up on this journey, on this race that you've decided to start. So whenever that block comes, think about the next person in the next house. Am I going to stay in this house that is burning and not think about the next person? Or think about if there's someone else inside that building to help, like the firefighters will do. So I hope I've been able to help us understand why we're stuck. So the reason that many people are stuck is because they are not connected to their story. They have lost touch of who they really are and why they are doing what they are doing. This can help us pull through.